All right, you all. We left off yesterday. As you can tell, I'm different clothing today. Trying to do these videos little by little. But we left off yesterday with me taking the deal to do some prison time as opposed to house arrest or further probation. I mentioned yesterday if any of y'all ever get in trouble and you're given the option of 1129, which is county time, or a year and a day, which is prison time, take the year and a day. Every state's different, of course, but at least in Florida, you have to do at least 85% of your prison sentence, which means if you take the year and a day, you're going to do 8.5 months. If you take the 1129, I want to say you have to do either 9 or 10 months in county jail, because you don't gain as much time as you do in prison. So if you're given the option, take the prison time. Prison time is going to be a lot easier on you, a lot quicker, a little bit more freedom than county jail, a lot more movement. And if those were your options, the 1129 or the year and a day, then more than likely your minimum security, you're going to be sent to a more minimum security camp like mine was, because mine was a non-violent crime. There was no victims. So you'll get to an easier camp. Not that any prison camp is easy, but, as opposed to be sent to somewhere like Florida State Prison with a medium or maximum security sentence, there's a lot more gangs, a lot more violence, because a lot of those guys are, 10, 25 years to life, life without the possibility of parole. They're in general population, and a lot of their views, especially the younger cats, maybe not the old cocks, but the younger cats, a lot of their views are, what more can you do to me? I'm here for life. So just think about that if you ever get in trouble. But anyway, so I went ahead and took the deal. After I was sentenced, I was in county jail for about 3 more weeks before they finally transferred me. The thing about the transfer is at 12:01 a.m., the guards come in, they call out your name, roll up your stuff. You roll up, you go out to the intake area, they pat you down, they kind of let you know what you can and can't keep. Another smart thing, once I got sentenced, I released all the property from my jail from when I got arrested, my clothes, my wallet, everything. I released it to my dad, because otherwise, at least in Florida, when you go to prison, they're not going to let you have any of that shit. They're going to put it in a big-ass pile, and then they're going to donate it to a charity. If they have somebody that's getting released shortly and your clothes fit them, they're going to get your clothes. So I just released everything to my dad while I was in county jail. This way I didn't lose, my clothes and whatnot. But yeah, so it was about 12 o'clock in the morning. They call you, you roll up. There was 6 of us total that were being transferred to prison. They pat you down, they shake you down, they go through your property, make sure you're not taking anything you shouldn't. Then they put you in this little cargo van. And the backside end of the cargo van, where you would sit, they have a metal wall up, so you have 3 people on each side. If you look at my site, chapter 2, on my way to prison, there's a picture of the type of van, not the particular van I was in, but the type of van I was in. So there's 6 of us, 3 on each side, crammed into this little van. We leave the jail. It's about, say, 2:30 in the morning, and we head out to Orlando, to the Central Florida Recruitment Center, or whatever they call it, receiving area. But that's your first shock of prison. So as we're driving, I'm in with a couple cats, and we're just kind of chit-chatting the whole way. It's freezing as hell. There's no heat, other than the driver. The driver was a dick the whole way. One of those, I'm better than you because I'm free and you're going to prison, so you're a dick. You're an asshole. You're lower than life. That's how a lot of the guards look at you. That's a lot of society looks at you, too. They all think that because you're in prison that you're lower than life and, you're nothing but a criminal. And like I said in one of my write-ups from DOC to DFS, if I tell you I'm in prison, the first 3 things that come to your mind are murder, rape, or robbery. and that's society. But that's a lot of news. The news sensationalizes those charges. Um, so that's just kind of the mindset that people have when they're in reality the biggest epidemic in prison is drug related crimes. I don't judge anyone. Drugs are horrible. If you're hooked on them, it's an extremely, extremely tough thing to get off of. So, but like I said, we're heading into prison, driving down the road. We come pulling up to the prison, and the van stops at the gate, and you hear this gate opening, and you can hear the wheels of the gate grinding against the metal, the chains that are hanging off or banging off of the concrete, the gates, jumping up and down on the track. That's kind of your reality of you're here. That's it. There's nothing. There's no more. There's no more you can do. You're here. They slowly pull in. You hear the gate close behind you. Reality kind of strikes you that this is it. You're about to start your prison term. You're a prisoner now. You're an inmate. You're a state inmate. You're not in county jail. You're not on probation. You're not on house arrest. You're none of that. You're now a prisoner. You're a number. And our welcome to prison was we're in the van. They pull up into what they call a sally port. Big prison guard, probably 6'4", 6'5", maybe 2% body fat. I think he shopped at Kids R Us because his fucking uniform was way too tight. It was more of an intimidation factor thing for them to kind of say, we have control on you. He busts open the doors and tells us to get the fuck out of the van right now. Do not talk, do not cough, do not sneeze, do not make eye contact, do not look at anyone. If we fall out of line, he will pick us up and slam our asses on the cold-ass concrete, and there's nothing we can do about it. So that's your welcome to prison. You're fucked. There's no, you're not on the streets no more. You're not some fucking bigwig. You're now being told by some guy you've never met that you've known for 13 seconds that he's basically going to kick your ass if you don't listen to him. So they put us all up on a fence. There's more buses from other counties pulling in, vans, buses, you name it. We're all on the sally port. There's about 70 of us on this fence. It's got to be 34, 35 degrees. Freezing fucking cold out there. Guard comes up to us, tells us, take off all your clothes. I want your jumpsuits off. If you're in regular clothes, your shoes, your socks, your boxers, underwear, whatever you're wearing, you need to be fully stripped. So we all take our clothes off. Again, there's a line of us. He comes to each of us, asks us what our name is. He comes to me and I start telling my name. I'm the first person in line. I start telling my name. He says, listen here, you don't have a fucking name anymore. You're now a number. What is your DOC number? All right, that's what you're known as. You are known as inmate and a number. You don't have a name. So if you do not respond to me with your inmate number, I will throw you in the hole for disregarding an order and being disrespectful to staff. Do you fucking understand me? And if you don't start with sir and end with sir, you're going to hear it. I mean, it's like a military boot camp. So, of course, sir, yes, sir. And he says, understand this is my fucking house. You guys will not disrespect my home. You will listen to my guards. Welcome to DOC. You are now mine. Okay? Whatever you say, fucking overgrown steroid freak. So after he goes through everybody, all 70 of us, there's an inmate trustee that comes around, gives everybody a pair of boxers and shower slides. After all of us are done, they push us into the next room. It's this room probably no bigger than just a general living room. And there's benches, we all sit down. They call each person by their inmate number, one person at a time. You go in, they go through your property, they tell you what you can and cannot keep. And what you can't keep gets thrown away. Luckily, all I took with me was some of my letters, my paperwork, charges. If you're ever going to prison, keep your paperwork. You have to prove why you're there, or they're going to say you're a chomo. Some of my letters, like I said, I had a couple books of stamps, some stamped envelopes, a pencil, and a few other things. The pencil I couldn't keep. They wouldn't let me keep. Mainly because it still had the metal eraser on it, which, whatever. threw that away. They put all my shit in a little clear plastic bag and told me you cannot open or touch this until you get to your room, to your dorm. Put you into the next room, which is a chair with a inmate barber. And no matter who you are, what your religious beliefs are, they shave your head and they shave all your facial hair off. Everyone looks the same. There is no individuality. Now, mind you, there was this cat in there with me, an Indian type guy. I'm not quite sure what tribe or whatnot, but he had hair all the way down to his knees. That shit was gone. And he has never cut his hair. And he tried to tell them that it's his religious belief, and their answer to him was, we don't fucking care. You belong to us. There is no religious beliefs anymore. So again, they don't care about you. Their job is to shock you, is to make you not ever want to come back to prison. They talk to you like shit, they treat you like shit, and they don't give a fuck who you are. And I apologize for any language I'm using, but we're all adults, and if you can't handle profanity, then you have a lot more problems in life. So anyway, after they cut your hair, you go and stand in a line, go up to this guard or CO or whoever the fuck he is. He asks you your inmate number. They take pictures of all your tattoos. Now, mind you, I have 27 tattoos, all of them done on the street except for 2 that I've got done in prison. But all the tattoos I had me were done on the street. Had to prove none of them were gang related. They ask you what your religious beliefs are, and me being the smart ass I am is, what does it matter what my religious beliefs are? Because we were just told there's no such thing as religious beliefs. So, guard didn't like my answer, but I really didn't give a shit either at the time. So after they do that, they move you to the next room. The next room is where they take your picture, they measure you, they get your weight, and then any passes you may get. I actually had a shaving pass because I have a skin irritation called folliculitis, to where I can't shave with single razor blades because it causes my face to basically split. My face will get that big. I have a picture, I'll put it online to show you guys of what my face looks like when the folliculitis kicks in. So I got my shaving pass. It didn't mean I didn't have to shave, it just meant I didn't have to use a shaving razor. I had to at least go to the barber once a week, and use their clippers to kind of like shave off the beard, the mustache, keep it low cut. Take your picture to give you for your inmate ID. Next, they take you into another room. They give you this little cup filled with, I don't really know what it is, but it's basically for delousing. You know, they don't use the powder where they throw powder all over you like they used to do back in the day. So you got to take a shower. You got 5 minutes, take a cold ass shower, ain't no hot water. So you take your cold shower, you use all this stuff that they give you. After you're done your shower, you get your inmate outfit, which is a button-up shirt and a pair of trousers and a belt and a hat. Just a plain old blue hat. And a pair of what we called bobos. They're kind of like dock shoes that you would wear on a boat, boat dock type shoes. No laces or nothing. No cushioning in them whatsoever. Of course, they didn't have my size, so I had a size that was one size way too big. So I felt like Bozo the fucking clown walking around. After that, they put you in another room. They print out your ID. You get your ID. You go to another room where they start doing your medical. Any prescriptions you may be on from county jail, anything you're allergic to. They give you a TB test. They take blood. They test for any type of STDs, HIV, AIDS, the crabs, whatever, to make sure that you don't have it and you're not going to spread it. They test for scabies. Scabies runs very rampant in prison. They test for lice, which is another reason why they shave your head, because they don't know the conditions of the county you just came from. Then they check for other, illnesses you may or may not have. After that's done, you go sit in a room and they serve you lunch, which is a bag with 2 peanut butter sandwiches, a orange that looks like it was picked about 6 months ago, and they give you a little bottle of juice like you would give your kids. And you have 15 minutes to eat your lunch. If you don't finish in 15 minutes, oh well, you throw it away. After that, there was probably about 300 or 400 of us all together once all the buses were done, once they were done with all the intake, they send you to another room, and that's where you have your orientation into prison. Now, this ain't done by guards. It's not done by the warden. You know, you may see TV shows where the warden's giving orientation. Well, that's because it's a TV show. In reality, inmates give the orientation, and it's someone that's in there for life without, double life, 80-something years. Basically, they're going to die in prison. So they come and give you the orientation, and they basically give you the ins and outs of the prison that you're in, which was the, reception center. They give you some of the convict code, which I'm going to go over right now. There's a lot of things in prison that you can and cannot do. One thing you don't do, even like if you're looking around the room just to see everybody, you never make eye contact with somebody in prison. That can be taken in two different ways. It's either disrespectful that you're calling them out, because there ain't no reason to be staring into another man's eyes. Or it can be taken that you want to get with them later. You're asking them for their Junie cakes. Junie cakes means your ass. There's many different slang terms for ass in prison. Junie cakes is one. Bust them cheeks. What's up with them cakes? Different ones. But you don't ever look anyone in the eye. You kind of scan by if you know someone that was on your bus with you out of your county, or maybe they were in a county that was close to you, and you just know them for the streets. You just, kind of give them the, hey, what's up? And then you just keep on going. But so as this inmate's telling everybody the rules, another rule is don't lie about why you're there. Don't try to sensationalize why you're there. If you're there for possession, you're there for possession. Ain't no one can give a shit if you're there for possession. If you try to come in, I killed 4 motherfuckers. Okay, well then where's your paperwork? Let me see your paperwork. Don't come in trying to claim you're a gang member or a gang leader with no proof. No tattoos, no nothing. Just what you're in there for is what you're in there for. And this inmate that's given orientation randomly picked 6 people and said, why are you here? I was one of the 6. Lucky me. Believe it or not, I don't like being called out in front of a group of people I don't know, yet here I am writing, DFS articles, writing my story, doing videos and shit. But, this is a group full of, people that you don't know their crimes. Some of them are there for murder. Some of them are there for rape. Some of them are there for, armed robbery, aggravated assault. So he calls me, what are you in here for? I say organized fraud, 2nd degree, and criminal use of personal identification, 3rd degree. That was it. Dude moved on. He knew I was telling the truth. Ain't no one gonna lie about some fucking, white collar crimes. So like I said, you don't lie about your shit. Another thing is you stay out of other people's business. If you hear someone talking and you ain't invited into the conversation, don't invite yourself. Because all you're doing is inviting an ass whooping. And ain't nobody wanting to invite no damn ass whooping in prison. So you stay out of other people's shit. You don't jump in on their conversation unless you're invited in. You don't push your way into a group unless you're invited in. You just kind of keep to yourself. Don't try to be like everyone's friend. Keep to yourself. You'll find your clique when you get into your camp. You'll find who you're going to hang out with. You're going to know the cats that are cool, the cats to stay away from, the storemen, the guys that run the gambling. You're going to find all that shit out when you get to your camp. But when you're in the reception center, keep to yourself because there's no custody levels right now. So you are mixed in with dudes that have nothing to lose, motherfuckers that are on life, life without parole, 4 life sentences, so you just kind of keep yourself, don't get into people's shit, and just kind of cruise and roll and, talk to a few people. Try to just hang out with the dudes you came in on the bus, or a couple people you may know from your county that are, got there before you and they're still there waiting to get sent to their camp. Try to kick it with them. Kick it with your camp, with your county. But, don't try to get mixed up in other people's shit. So anyway, dude gives the orientation. He goes over all the rules and regulations, the what to, what not to do. He breaks down the yard for you. Listen, this is where the blacks hang out. This is where the whites hang out. This is where the Hispanics hang out. This gang is over there. That gang is over here. Don't go over there unless you're this. And that shit's real. Prison's like a little city, and
and I know you've seen it if you ever watched, Lock Up Raw on NSNBC or whatever it is, and Hard Time on National Geographic or any type of prison documentaries. It is like a little city. Everybody has a place they can go, and everybody has a place they can't go. This asshole in front of me needs to go. Really, dude? What the fuck? But everybody has their where they can and cannot be. So after all that's done, the guards come back in, the COs, and they give you your housing unit. And I'm going to tell you right now, we've been there since, like I said, 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, 4:30. It's now about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So suffice to say, we was all ready to get out of this stale-ass building with these nasty-ass dudes, that stink. They just, some of the dudes ain't shower. And some people go in like that. They think that if they go in all stinky and smelly and ugly looking, that ain't no one gonna fuck with them. But, so we get in, we do what we gotta do. I get my housing assignment. I was sent to the Bravo dorm. I was sent to second tier in the Bravo dorm. I get in there within 5 minutes of being in there. I mean, literally. But, let me back up a little bit. So they give us the housing assignments. They take us outside. They open the doors, and this shit was like a movie. The sun hits your eyes, and then all of a sudden this big-ass prison campground just comes into light. You got softball fields. You got a track. You got all these different buildings that all serve a purpose. You got the chow hall, medical wing. You got lockdown. You got everybody's, building that they're in. All that shit serves a purpose. Everything serves a purpose. But the one thing that you got to understand is, you don't know any of these dudes. You don't know anybody that you're fitting to be, hanging out with. You don't know anybody that, you're fitting to be up in the prison with. You don't know any of that stuff. But, you don't know what's going on, who's going where, who's doing what. I'm pulling up into this place, and there's just, like, trucks and cars and cops and all kinds of crap all over this place. But, anyway, so you do what you got to do when you're in. You don't mess with anybody. You don't, screw with anybody. But like I said, so we go rolling down into into our camp, do what we got to do, and then I get into my housing unit. It's about a 3-minute walk from where we were. Get into the housing unit, and within 5 minutes of us getting there, these two dudes from another county that knew each other and had problems from other terms, prison terms or whatnot, they just go right at it. Boom. I mean, and again, just like anywhere else, you don't jump in the fight. It ain't your fight, stay the fuck out of it. So these two cats are just going at it. I mean, swinging, banging each other off of tables, like it ain't nothing. And then all of a sudden, there was one CO in there, but a CO ain't gonna jump in the middle of 2 inmates fighting, 20 inmates fighting by himself. So he calls for backup. Backup shows up. They come in screaming and yelling. Everybody get down. They're popping off, I don't know what, gas or whatever. Basically mace, pepper spray in cans. Popping all that shit off. Everybody goes down. They split these two dudes up, and then we all get into our cell house. And I get into my room, and I'm just like, damn, man, this shit is for real. So I get into my room, I grab my books of stamps, my stamped envelopes, I walk around the pod, anybody got smokes, anybody got a lighter? One cat's like, yeah, I got smokes, what do you want? I said, you got menthol. Dude's like, yeah, I got Newports. He said, it's a book of stamps for a pack of ports. I'm like, all right, well, you got 2 packs of ports? I said, I got 2 books of stamps, and I got 15 stamped envelopes, which I kept 6 stamped envelopes for myself. But he's like, yeah, I got that. I said, all right. So I got my 2 packs of ports, I got a lighter, and I got me a soda to drink to start off my prison term. So in prison you don't have cash, but everything's worth something. You know, soups are worth something, and books of stamps, especially books of stamps for dudes that can't get phone calls, they need to write. So the stamps are a real highly regarded commodity. But so I use my books of stamps to get what I needed. But all right, well, I'm where I need to be, so I'm gonna continue this another day. There's gonna be a couple videos. I'm gonna try to splice them all together to make it look like one continuous video, but it won't. I'm gonna explain to you how I'm missing this tooth up front here, and I'll start going over more of Orlando, and then moving on into my my camp. So until I come back, peace out, everyone. Remember, every day should be a good day. You're free. You're not locked up. You ain't answering to nobody. And just treat everybody with respect. You know, be kind to everybody. Even if you don't like the person, be kind, because kindness will be returned to you. Peace out.